Three, two, one. Welcome, everyone, to episode 287 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Today's topic is the controversial, I guess, Nintendo Switch reveal that happened was last Thursday night. We're going to be talking about the reveal itself as well as the details that were revealed during the presentation, I guess you could say, as well as some of the other stuff that came out afterwards. Some of the stuff that came out in the Treehouse, or some of the stuff that some of the other media outlets have reported that wasn't necessarily, I guess, released by Nintendo. So that's our main topic for today. Does anyone have anything they want to tease for later on in the episode?
Nothing new for me.
I played a lot. I played Final Fantasy 15. I played Titanfall 2. I played I Am Setsuna. I played Inside, and I've been playing The Division.
I saw you playing The Division.
I saw that too.
Yeah. I'm trying to catch up on everything that I missed last year. So I've just been chopping my way through games at this point.
Now's the time to do it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of free time, and I've been really bored. So
Bored?
Yeah, I need to get back into school because I'm just kind of putzing around.
What's being bored like?
Yeah.
I know exactly what it's like.
There's so much free time that I don't want to do anything.
That's how I get when I'm home and my wife is working at night.
Yeah.
I just sit here and I'm like, what the fuck do I do with myself? And then I just end up playing Rocket League all night.
See, like I watch motivational videos on YouTube all day today to make me feel like doing something.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was doing that before we started, actually.
To get you pumped up?
Well, see, the thing is like, I don't want to diet anymore. This is completely off topic, but I don't feel like dieting anymore, and I'm so close to finishing up that I just gotta, like, stick to it. So, like, I'm watching, like, Ray Lewis talk about his incarceration and applying it to myself to stick with my petty little diet.
Uh-huh.
Wow,
Nice.
Will. I didn't know you were such an intellectual.
I actually really like motivational speeches because it gives me like an hour or two of like I can do anything before it slowly fades.
Yeah.
And I realize that I'm doing nothing.
Nice.
Mine goes day to day. Some days I wake up and I feel like I can take over the world, and then other days I wake up and just feel like a pathetic slob.
Yeah.
At least you get that day to day, Corey.
Yeah.
Can't say that.
But yeah,
I feel that way.
That's what I played, by the way.
What's that?
Just a bunch of
The
different
games
games.
you listed.
Gotcha. Oh,
5
yeah.
minutes ago.
Yeah, we got a tangent. Off on a tangent. Corey, did you play anything new?
Nothing new, but I did get back into Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll talk a little bit about that.
Very nice. I also played nothing new. I played Mass Effect. That's not new, obviously, but I played quite a bit of that, so I'll talk a little bit about it when we get there. So let's talk about the Nintendo Switch. Before we get into the details about the actual system, let's talk about the presentation / reveal first. What did you guys think of that? Did everyone watch it, first of all? I know Eric did, because we were texting a little bit. Corey, did you watch the whole thing?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Will didn't see it. Corey, what did you think, first of all?
I thought it was bizarre.
Okay.
Very weird.
To say the least.
Very weird.
To say the least.
Some of the pre-shot stuff, like when he was showing the HD rumble on the Joy Grip.
Yeah.
I thought that stuff was pretty well done.
Yeah.
But the onstage stuff, I just thought was a terrible presentation overall. And even the way they structured the announcements and stuff, like I know we'll get into the specifics, but just off the top of my head, when they announced paid online, they didn't. What you'd want to do is preface that with all the new features or whatever you're bringing.
That it comes with, yeah.
Rather than just saying, and paid online's coming, as if that was something somebody was looking forward to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, more money. All right.
It was just bad all around. I really didn't. Some of the games looked cool. Like the Xenoblade reveal was cool.
Yeah. But that was as part of like a montage.
Right.
With a bunch of other things. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting a Nintendo Direct like they've done, an hour long, just with, Reggie Fils-Aimé hosting it.
Yeah.
Maybe the new president hosting it too. That's what I thought they were going to do. Instead, they did like a live stage show, like they do at E3. It was in Japan too, so it was very Japan centric.
Yeah.
I guess.
And that was
with the way they revealed things, and
that was how I was going to round out my thoughts on it. Is I'd be interested to hear like what a Japanese person thought of the presentation, because it might just come down to cultural differences.
yeah,
I don't know, but as a Western American, no, not good.
yeah, very bizarre. What you thought pretty much the same thing, right, Eric? I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit.
I thought, like, how many times were they going to say that they were switching to the next reveal, or like bringing some guy out in like the weirdest looking outfit they could have possibly found and having him make the weirdest gestures of all time? Like Corey said, I think it was
Japan,
cultural difference. But then I think to myself, why do the Japanese people enjoy those press conferences?
Because Japan, I don't know.
Even for Nintendo, I was like, what on earth? I mean, I was listening. At one point, it got so bad that I knew that Kind of Funny Games would be having a good laugh at it, so I turned their voiceover on during it. And I can't remember at what part it was, but I mean, they just were like, you're almost speechless watching what a train wreck was going on the stream.
It was a mix of a mix of bizarre and boring at the same time.
Yeah, like like you said, Dan. Like, how do you put a game like Xenoblade 2 in a stupid montage?
Yeah.
But you show off arms and 1-2 switch.
Yeah.
Like, what an odd decision that whole thing was.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, fail. Definitely fail on that, I think. I don't know of anyone that really thought that thing was awesome. In the games media people that I follow, I think everyone kind of thought it was bizarre and terrible. Bizarre at best, terrible at worst.
And in the chat, Beardless says that was some Nintendo shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I said, even for Nintendo, like that was something.
Yep. So they announced the release date, which is going to be March 3rd, and the price point, which is going to be $300. Thoughts on that? I mean, obviously, we were not going to...
Earlier than expected, which is
earlier
great.
than expected. Mm-hmm. I agree. We were all expecting towards the end of the month, right?
Yeah, I think like mid or end of March was the rumor. I think the 17th, I think, was the rumor. I was hoping for $250.
Yeah.
But I was okay with $300.
Yeah. I think everyone was. I think like surveys and stuff said $300 is the maximum that people would pay for the Switch. So
yeah,
they came in right in under that maximum. I think
I'm okay with the $300.
Yeah, as am I.
I'm okay with it too. $250 would have been even better. I mean, obviously, but I did hear though that apparently the yen conversion is closer to $250.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. But I guess, I don't know, the 8-4 Play guys that I listened to were talking about it, and since the Donald Trump takeover, the exchange rate has fallen substantially, and that's part of the issue with the Switch being $300 instead of $250.
What about Europe? Do you know? Is it closer to $250 in the European?
I don't know what it ended up working out to be in Europe.
I usually see that information, people posting, but I didn't see anyone from Europe chime in that, oh yeah, this is equal to, $350 US or $275 US. Usually someone posts that somewhere, but I didn't notice it. So there's that. So let's talk about hardware first. First, one of the big things, 32 gigabytes of onboard memory. That's for storage for games or your save games.
Why does Nintendo always just lowball the system memory?
Why do they do anything? I honest to God, I can't imagine how they could explain damn near all of it.
It's cost.
It's the best I got for you, Will.
I think it comes down to cost. I think they wanted to get in under the $300 price point, and I think that's why.
So it can support like 3 games, and then you gotta buy SD cards or whatever.
No, that's if the difference is here is that's if you buy digital.
Which, let's be honest, a lot of people do.
Yeah, maybe, but not as much with Nintendo. Nintendo's
I know,
not
but the further we
traditional-
go into things, I can't imagine that people aren't at least going to want to buy digital, regardless of it being Nintendo.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I should say too, it's expandable up to 2 terabytes with micro SD cards.
But there's no such thing as a 2 terabyte one yet, correct?
Not yet. The highest they make are 512, which are really expensive.
Right.
But you can get like a 128 gigabyte one for like $20. Yeah, I know. I think for me, like, I would only ever buy physical copies anyway, because the difference here, like with the PS4 and Xbox One, like the physical copies are kind of pointless anyway, because you still have to install the game on the actual hard drive, because the optical drives on that are not fast enough to run the game from the disc, and the disc also usually isn't big enough to hold all that data. Your 50, 60 gigabyte installs. Whereas the Nintendo Switch runs from cartridges, which it just runs the game from the cartridge.
That's fair enough. I just wish I had the option, I guess.
Right. And we talked about it too, like with the amount of deals you can get for your 20% off of Amazon and Best Buy, and then the trade-in value of the Nintendo games also is another reason to just buy physical instead of digital. So this was a non-issue for me.
I just and it was for me probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. But I don't want to have the game cases lying around anymore. I get nothing out of it anymore, I guess, as like a collection.
Right. Well, but I mean, is it worth paying $20 more just to not have a DVD case? Is it really?
Oh yeah.
$20 per game.
Yep.
All right.
And the ease of not switching anything out. Like, I cannot tell you how pissed off I was 2 years ago when I bought a physical copy of FIFA and I literally had to get off my couch to change the disc. I was like, you know what?
Sure.
I'm never doing that again, regardless.
I kind of either agree or disagree with either of you guys. I think just as a whole, regardless of how you play your games, I think 32 gigabytes is unacceptable for a home console.
This day and age, for sure.
And it's one of those things where, okay, maybe you do buy all your games physical, but like them doing that is sort of like saying like, well, we're not going to have enough digital only games anyway for you to fill that up. Like, it's almost just like a bad omen. Because think of all the games that you have on PC or console that are digital only, because that was how they were released, indie games and stuff like that. Those are going to take up space, and you're going to constantly be brushing up against, oh, I'm out of space, I have to delete this to install this, and I don't know. I'm with you, Dan. I would prefer discs, but I think most of the reason why I would prefer them for the Switch is because of the space issue, and I don't think that's right. That I would have to think that way.
Yeah. It's space and cost. Like I said, if you're knocking $20 off per game because you're buying a physical copy, I see no reason why you wouldn't want to do that. Especially if you're on any kind of a budget.
For me, I just don't want it.
You're not wrong, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying I think 32 gigabytes is way too small for a home console. Like, no matter what you do with it, you're going to be running up against space issues. And we talked about the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a 14 gig install, which if you factor in the operating system, which is also installed into that 32 gigabytes, you're using up half of your hard drive just for the launch day game. And I think a lot of people are going to get Zelda digitally on launch day.
The thing of it is too, Dan, is that like the only two games I'm remotely interested in that are coming out at launch are Zelda and Bomberman, and I do not want a physical copy of Bomberman.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I just don't. That's not, like Corey was saying, it's not a game you buy a physical copy for.
No, I agree.
And I don't know how big it is, but still, like 32 gigabytes is nothing.
That one won't. If Breath of the Wild is only 13 gigabytes, that one's probably not even one.
And fair enough, but I not even one will start to add up.
Right.
All
right. And like I said, the memory is expandable with I have micro SD cards like laying around, so I won't even need to buy one to put in the system.
Well, I mean, and then you think about it. I hear you on the micro SD cards, but then you start buying more of those, and the cost of the console goes up $20, $30, $40 here and there every now and again when you need one.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I just don't think that's just pack the fucking memory in it and charge me another $50.
Yeah.
The weird thing about it, and I know you want to move on from this, but the weird thing about it is if they offered like a 128 gigabit version of the Switch and it was, $375 or whatever, I think I'd get the cheaper one.
Yeah, I would too.
But again,
I
it's to me, it's just, I don't know.
Again, but if you're raising the price point, you're going up against, you're putting yourself into competition more with the, PS4 and Xbox One, which I actually don't think the system is in competition with.
I was just gonna say that
they're kind of separate.
Totally
things.
different.
But yeah, it can be played. Go ahead, Corey.
Yes and no. I mean, I don't know if we're jumping ahead of your plan here, Dan, but
I was just going to run down the hardware.
I look at that price point, and yes, like this is the cost of entry to play Nintendo games, but this Switch doesn't come with a game. Not that that's a huge issue, but when you start comparing it to what you can get for that amount of money, PS4 wise and Xbox One wise, for somebody who doesn't have a console yet, I have a hard time believing. Unless you really need to play those Nintendo games, which I'm guilty of that.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I find it hard believing that somebody would opt for the Nintendo Switch.
Well, you're also looking at the PS4 and Xbox One have been out for 3+ years. Yeah. So it's also not apples to apples.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I'm just saying I don't think that you can say they are entirely different things. If you're looking for something to play video games on, which is what a console is, I think you got to look at the whole picture.
I think they are, though, because they don't. Granted, they say they have all the third-party support, but no, they don't. Any. They have Skyrim and
not so
FIFA
far.
from 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break. Like, at first I was like, oh, you know what? It's gonna be pretty cool to play FIFA like on the go or like laying in bed with my handheld version of the Switch, and then I see it's the like last gen version of the game, and I'm like, all right, like, no thank you.
Don't want that. Yeah.
What a sham that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it can be played 3 different ways. So obviously it's in the traditional console mode, which is when it's in the dock and you play on the TV. There's portable mode, which is the one where you have the tablet in your hand with the 2 Joy-Con controllers hooked to the side of it. And then there's tabletop mode. It's got a little kickstand on the bottom, which you fold out, put it on the table, detach the Joy-Con controllers, and play that way. So those are the kind of the 3 different ways to play that they talked about.
We talk about that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I actually really, really like all the different ways you can play it.
Yeah.
I think the thing that has me really excited is games like Mario Party.
Yeah.
Or Mario Kart, or even Splatoon, really. I can see being able to talk my wife into like setting this little tablet on our coffee table and just kicking back, and like she likes Mario Kart. I know she likes Mario Kart. Yeah. Kicking back with our little Joy-Cons and just sitting there. You could like have The Office running in the background and just playing Mario Kart with each other. I think that is just so cool.
Yeah. I'm also a fan of the different ways that you can play that. I'm going to play the portable mode a ton. I've talked about it with you guys. I do not get a chance to like sit and play video games on my TV because I have 6 people in my house. Right. So one of the kids always wants to watch something, or I try not to monopolize the TV. I use my TV time for football and hockey, so I try not to monopolize it with video games too. So the portable mode, being able to like sit in the living room, not isolate myself in another room, playing games on my own TV, and being able to sit in the living room and play Breath of the Wild or what have you on the actual tablet is fantastic to me. I love that.
I totally agree, Dan. And I think the last week when I was up babysitting my nephew really made me think about, like, for parents especially, how cool of a system the Switch could be.
Yeah.
Not only for the portability and all that kind of thing, but like, Nintendo is always more of a family friendly thing anyway.
Yep.
But if you get one and then you set it, like I said, you put it as a tablet, pick up a couple of more Joy-Con controllers, which I'm sure we might get into some pricing about those at some point.
Yes, we will.
Assuming you've hit the lottery, it can be really fun for everybody, and I just think that's awesome.
Yep. Okay, so it comes with the tablet we were talking about is a 6.2-inch 720p multi-touch capacitive touchscreen. That's important because the Wii U did not have a capacitive touchscreen. It was the old push membrane type of touchscreen. The capacitive touchscreen is just basically what your phone uses. So that's important. You get 2.5 to 6 hours of battery life per charge, depending on what games you're playing, apparently, is a deciding factor.
When they said 2.5 to 6, did anybody else just go, huh? That's an awfully large fucking range.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it'll depend on if you're playing Breath of the Wild or if you're playing Stardew Valley, you know.
But do you know what I heard when they said that?
2.5.
2 to 4.5 at best.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I heard, and I think that's probably what everybody heard.
I did read today that playing Breath of the Wild will give you 3 hours.
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll test it. Who knows?
30 minutes longer than I thought.
Yeah, right?
It's still 30 minutes longer than I think.
Yeah. That's with the brightness turned all the way down.
You can't even see it.
The volume off.
In battery saving mode.
Volume off. Remember when turning the volume off would save battery life on Game Boys? Yeah. It also uses a USB-C charging cord, which is awesome because that's universal and standard. So that's a good thing.
Unless you have an iPhone.
Right. Unless you have an iPhone.
Which I do.
Even so, you can get a USB charging cord for $60 off of Amazon.
And it's just another thing. Tack it onto my bill.
Well, it comes with one.
Oh, it comes with one. Well, you'd understand why I was shocked by that.
No, it comes with one. That just means like if you have one at work or whatever and you take it to work with you, you can charge it, you know. Right. So how do we feel about the 2.5 to 6 hours of battery life?
I don't believe it.
Not enough.
It's enough, I think. I just don't know if I believe it's true. I don't know how much you could honestly expect.
Yeah.
Playing full console games on the go.
Well,
right, like if you're playing... Go ahead.
Sorry, what's an iPad get you? Anybody know off the top of their head?
A lot.
More
8
than
to
that.
10 hours.
Yeah. Of gaming?
Oh, not gaming, no.
Yeah.
They're probably 4 or 5.
Okay.
I would say if you game out the whole time.
I know
I just don't know if I believe it. If that's what it actually is, I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not terrible. You got to think like portability. Okay, what am I doing with this thing? Am I taking it somewhere where I need to play it for 3 hours straight? Me personally, no. But maybe people that fly a lot, maybe.
Well,
yes.
I mean, not just that, but the way I look at it, like if you're sitting in a car, if it comes with a USB, the charger you can plug it into your car charger thing. If you're at like an airport or bus stop, or even buses have places where you can plug a plug in to charge your gear, or you can use one of your portable battery chargers.
I did have that question. It sounds like you know the answer to it though. You are able to charge the tablet separately?
I would assume.
Without needing the dock?
How crazy would it be if you weren't? Like,
if you
we're talking about Nintendo here.
Oh wait,
no. God. Let's assume you can't then, I guess.
No, you can definitely. They showed the cable plugging into the bottom of the tablet.
All right, good.
Yeah, but still,
they definitely showed.
Ugh.
I don't even think I saw that during the presentation. I think I saw that somewhere else.
I had a lot of questions about what plugs into what, how, because that's something that they could get away with not showing and screwing people over with. That's like the bad news they talk about later.
Oh, sure. Well, that was the no. I mean, Games Media reported on it, but if you weren't aware of it, you wouldn't know that your new 3DS XL didn't come with a charging cable,
which is
unreal,
ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So that's the tablet controller. Joy-Con controllers. So they can be placed on the side of the tablet in the Joy-Con grip, which is the traditional looking controller thing, used freeform, like dual wielding, or
like Wiimotes.
Yep, like Wiimotes, or you can give one to each player for two-player action.
Some good old-fashioned cow milking fun.
Yeah, cow milking. So they are equipped with HD rumble, motion sensing. They have 20-hour battery life, and they charge anytime they're plugged into either the tablet when it's docked or in the Joy-Con grip thing. They'll charge.
Oh, nice.
But
with those.
The grip that comes with your console does not charge them. You have to buy that separately.
Oh, of course. Well, we'll talk about
that. I can confirm.
We'll talk about accessories.
Oh my God. That's what you were just talking about. The stuff they don't fucking tell you that's garbage.
Yeah, that's janky.
So Dan, the price of my console is approaching $400 now.
Can you plug it in, or do you have to buy a specific charger?
You can buy charging grips, which are $30.
Oh, I see.
Or you can play it. You can just play it in the tablet mode to charge them.
Okay, so the grip that comes with it is not a charging grip.
Correct.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. HD Rumble. I've actually heard good things about HD Rumble. Have you guys heard any impressions of HD Rumble?
Yes. Dan, I really haven't seen much about anything since the presentation.
Okay. Corey, did you want to talk about HD Rumble at all?
I heard it works very well. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about it. We've seen so many of these gimmicks in these consoles in the last couple generations, and every time, I just don't care about them. And I don't really know too many people that do. I mean, Wii Sports was cool for the novelty of it, but after that wore off, people just want to play games with a controller that works. Maybe they can come up with a really practical use for HD Rumble in video games.
I think there's gameplay applications that you can use with it. Will they use it? I don't know.
Well, there is, but it's one of those things that's well, do I want to do this? You know?
Right.
It's
if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna have to be Nintendo.
I just think of all the Nintendo games I played that forced motion controls into the game, no matter how slight, and every time I was just annoyed. I just want to hold the controller and play the game.
Well, that's different. I mean, Rumble that's an entirely different thing. That's kind of happening in the background. It's not an active thing that you're looking at using.
And I hope that's how they use it. Is it's just something you don't have to think about. Then that is good. Yes, but I'm thinking of Stardew Valley and milking the cows. You know, am I gonna have to do the stupid motion and feel the rumble? And I don't want to have to do that.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe once, just for fun, but after that, no.
Sure.
Come on, Corey. You don't want everybody on the bus to think you're jerking off?
Milking my cows.
Okay, next up on the list, the Pro Controller. The Pro Controller looks nice. It's got the offset sticks, which I like, but it is $70.
Wow.
70.
How much?
So I'm not buying one.
How much are that? The Xbox, PlayStation Pro
they're
controller?
$60. That's what I was going to say. They're $60.
They're not 60.
Yeah, they are.
No, so if you get them, I got my Xbox One controller off of Amazon for $42.
Well, yeah, that's Amazon. Retail price is $60 though.
Retail is $60. Yeah, they won't stay $70. I don't think. I don't know that anyone would buy one at $70.
Nintendo rarely drops the price of their shit.
I agree, but if literally no one's gonna buy.
Nobody bought the Wii U.
Yeah, 12 million people bought the Wii U. This is something. Well, there's a difference between the system itself and then something that you buy for the system that isn't necessary to play the system.
Got a lot of faith in that company, Dan.
No, I'm saying I don't like it and I want them to drop the price on it. I'm not saying that's a good thing.
How much would you pay for it?
The Pro Controller?
Hmm?
50 tops.
The Pro Controller?
Yeah.
For the Wii U?
For the Switch.
No, for the Switch.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about the Wii U Pro because I was gonna say that's 30.
The only controller I would pay more than $50 for is the Xbox One Elite controller. That's it. That's worth its $150 price tag. I don't know what this Nintendo Switch Pro controller does, but
just wait for the Switch Pro Plus.
Not $70 worth.
Switch Pro Plus HD.
HD.
How many ice cubes will they fit in that sucker?
4.
So let's talk about some of the accessories that you can get. You can get a second dock for the system if you want to have that as part, in a different TV in your household. That comes in at $90.
Oh my word!
For another dock, yep.
We're talking about it like, oh yeah, your second TV in the house. That sounds all right.
Not for $90. It doesn't. That's too much. I would rather the inconvenience of unplugging it and moving it to a different TV. Yes.
It doesn't look like it's that much to the dock, having to move it.
No. Well, and the thing is it was confirmed that there's no additional processing power that comes from it. It's literally just a charger and then the video out to a new TV. That's all it is.
Is there no difference in like graphics and stuff?
There is. It drops down. The tablet runs at 720, whereas the games run at 1080. So the graphical difference is in the resolution, and that seems to be all for now. We don't know for sure until we get our hands on it if there's like frame rate differences, but it's mainly resolution from what I gather.
Some sort of witchcraft to me.
Well, no, it just
there's no reason to have 1080p on a little tablet like that.
No, it's 6 inches. What, 6.2 inches? Yeah.
Yes.
You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between 1080p and
it would just eat up more battery.
Yeah. Where was I going with that?
So then it would be 1.5 to probably 4.5 with the battery life. It was 1080.
We were talking about moving the Switch to different rooms instead of buying another dock.
Yeah, I was going to talk about resolution. Oh, yeah, and I think because I know it was reported that the clock speed was lowered on the processor. I think the clock speed is lowered because it lowers the resolution. So it doesn't have to work as hard.
Okay.
I believe. I know what I was going to say. Because I have a 1080 interlace TV in my old Alevia, Corey, that you initially bought, that I bought from you. Still works great, but that, like, when I had my PS4 hooked up to it, that played games in 720p because it wasn't 1080p. So it lowered it. Just, it automatically did it without anything additional. New Joy-Cons. Well, I actually didn't write down the price. Someone want to look up the price for new Joy-Cons? Yeah, I believe it's $70 or $80 for new no, I think the Joy-Cons are $50. I'm glad we're looking up the price because I didn't write it down like an idiot.
A secondary dock. Let's see. 80.
80 for just two Joy-Cons, or is that the full-on Joy-Con?
Two Joy-Cons. Let me read it while you keep talking.
Okay, yeah, because I'm pretty sure, I want to say the two Joy-Cons themselves were for the two like controllers, but like maybe the controllers and the grip were 80, if I remember correctly. My notes got a little janky towards the end because I was trying to cook dinner.
What'd you make?
It was broccoli quinoa casserole.
Wait. It says on this article from...
it was good.
Granted, it's technobuffalo.com, so I don't know. It says that the charging grip comes with the system.
So Corey was wrong.
Maybe either that or Techno Buffalo's wrong.
I read it about 5 different places that...
Okay. So...
Let me double check.
Dan, it looks like for the pair, it is $80.
Okay, just for the two Joy-Cons, it's $80.
I guess.
It's a lot.
Let me see if I can find a more reputable.
Look on Amazon.
So Polygon, The Verge, and Engadget, just the first 3 hits, all say Nintendo Switch doesn't come with a charging Joy-Con grip.
Okay.
Just to confirm that. I do want to say, while we're on the topic of the Joy-Cons, my fear was that it wouldn't be comfortable. It doesn't look like it would be comfortable in your hand, doesn't look very ergonomically friendly, but everything I read said it is surprisingly very comfortable.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, good, because comfort is a big thing for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have small, chubby hands, so like things have to fit into them.
Well, I also like they demoed it on stage. One of the few shining moments of the presentation, I thought, was when he laid back on the couch and was holding onto each controller separately.
Yeah. Yeah, like this.
In each hand and just kind of relaxing and sitting back.
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah, because you could play Zelda that way.
Yeah, and I like that idea of having both hands free, because sometimes when you are holding a controller, depending on how you're sitting, you kind of force yourself into awkward situations and stuff. Like,
that's going to be great for holding my twins too. I can hold my twins in one arm, in each arm, and have the controllers however I want them.
There you go. Yep.
Options. We like the options.
We do.
Dan, I'm having a hard time finding whether it comes with the grip. It looks like so far all I see is it comes with a pair of Joy-Cons with the wrist strap. Oh, wait. Yeah. For $80.
$80, okay. So the grip thing is extra, must be.
I believe it is.
Maybe that can't be just 10. Maybe it's 10. No, it can't be 10.
Joy-Con charging grip?
Yeah.
That's 30.
So if you want a full-on new controller, you're looking at $120, $110. Sorry, I can do math.
Yeesh.
Anywho, so there's that too. Software games are going to cost $60 new. They're cartridge based, which we talked about earlier. Launch lineup: 5 games confirmed for the launch lineup, which include Zelda, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which you should know by now. 1-2 Switch, Super Bomberman R, Skylanders, Imaginators, and Just Dance 2017.
Yes.
That's confirmed for right now. I'm sure there will be more added on later.
Are you sure?
I am sure. Yes.
It's like a month and a half away.
Yeah, no, there'll be a few more games. I bet you by the end of it there'll be 8 or 10 games, not AAA's, but there'll probably be a few indie games that you can get in the digital store and stuff.
I could see like I Am Setsuna, which is confirmed for Japan launch. I could see something like that squeaking into North America.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few of those games that maybe only launch digitally, indie type stuff.
Yeah.
Not that'll really flesh out the launch lineup, but.
And this to me was the most glaring problem.
Okay.
Is it's Nintendo and it's the games again. It's I don't know. It's like, have they learned nothing?
Yeah. No, you're right. I will disagree a little bit and say that Nintendo launching with Legend of Zelda is a huge deal.
I'm gonna side with Dan on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's not a huge deal. I'm not talking about just launch too. I'm talking about like the lineup of games we have.
I think actually when you look at it, the only complaint I would have is that, so when you look at it, they've kind of spaced out Legend of Zelda, then Mario Kart, then Splatoon, then Mario. So they've kind of got their big hitters spaced out throughout the year, which I think is cool. The problem I have is that 2 of those games we have played.
Yep.
It can say Splatoon 2 on it, but boy, it looks a lot like Splatoon.
Everyone says it's more of like it's an incremental upgrade and not necessarily a second Splatoon. It's not that's different.
The issue I have. If they were really like new iterations on the games, then great.
Or cheaper.
Yeah, or cheaper, which they're definitely not going to be.
Right.
I would be okay with it. But
yeah.
With that said, I think that, it's not exactly like the Xbox One and PS4 launch with a great lineup.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say, because the PlayStation 4, their big hitters at launch were Knack and Killzone.
But the difference between the two is that there's a promise of better games for the PlayStation.
There's a promise of better games for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Zelda and Mario. Like
Xenoblade. I'd put Xenoblade in there.
There's a few of them on there.
For me, and Dan, and I guess you're interested in it, Eric, but that's not
but
not
Nintendo
like a mass.
People are interested in that.
You also
the last
know
2
you're gonna
Xenoblades
get good
did not
games
sell
at
well.
some point that aren't announced.
Fair enough, Corey. What's that, Will?
You're gonna get better games that aren't announced yet too. Let's not act like you're not gonna get them.
It's the promise it's the promise of what's to come. So of all the publishers and developers out there making games, who did they bring out on stage? Todd Howard to talk about Skyrim. And the guy from EA to bring out an old FIFA. That's it.
Yeah, but what
Square Enix sent over an indie RPG that they're working on that I thought looked cool, but it's like that's not going to be a Nintendo exclusive.
And even if it is, like, great.
That's not moving consoles.
But like, what did Sony and Microsoft have down the pike when it first launched? There was nothing for like a year and a half to 2 years for the consoles.
I don't know.
But you at least know they're coming.
And,
and
you got your games.
Too.
You got your good games. You knew
your
were
Nintendo games are coming.
Yeah, of course.
Mario's coming, and
you're not playing Nintendo consoles to play multi-platform games.
Is that enough? Still, I guess is the question.
Yeah, right.
It hasn't been a problem in the past with all of us.
It kind of has.
I know, but things change. It's just like with me not wanting to buy physical games anymore. A year ago, I would have said, who cares? But now I just.
So then why bother pre-order a Switch then if you're not buying it to play the Nintendo games?
I am buying.
We can talk about that later. We're not there yet.
I'm not. You're misunderstanding.
No, I just don't think that's a completely valid argument.
That I'm buying a Switch to play Mario and Zelda?
No, you're saying that there's no promise
of better
for
games.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Well, I don't see how you can argue that though.
How can you not?
What are they going to put out that's better? You know what you're going to get. Like,
And
Mario, I will give you this. Mario looks different. I'm really excited about the new Mario. But other than that, what looked different to you in that presentation that makes you think they're going to put out some new original shit?
Well, one, I
I'm
didn't
not-
see
that's not
it,
even-
and two,
I'm not even-
we don't know.
I'm not talking about original.
I
either.
know, but what makes you think that something new that is going to get you excited is coming? Just based off of what we know about Nintendo.
Ooh. I mean, what
Fire
did we have with Sony and Microsoft? We didn't have anything when they got announced and came
They're
out.
going to get all the
you
games.
you don't need that for them. You
Because
know,
you know
they're
they're getting all the games.
All right, whatever.
I'm not,
I don't
and I'm not. Don't misunderstand me. Like, yes, I know what a Nintendo console is for. It's to play Nintendo games. But like Eric said, is that enough anymore? Am I gonna feel?
Why are you buying one then?
And that's my point. Am I gonna feel snake bit if I get a Switch, I play Zelda, and then I play Mario, and then it's like, well, what now?
Did you
Well,
ask
you-
why I'm buying one, Will?
You have other
Yeah.
systems to
'Cause
play
it's enough for me.
multi-platforms on.
Okay.
Right.
Like anything multi-platform, I'm not even going to consider buying for the Switch unless
it's-
it's something I really need. I really think is going to be good to play on the go. I have another system to play multi-platforms on.
Right, and like we're saying, is that enough for people now? And it sounds like, for me, yes.
For me, it
Dan,
is.
yes. For
Yeah.
Will, yes.
I
For
pre-ordered.
Corey, pre-ordered. I don't know if you'll keep it or not, but I think it's fair to bring that up at very least.
All I'm saying is this is very similar to what we saw with the Wii U.
Yeah, minus having Legend of Zelda launch with it.
Okay, but what if Zelda's bad? What if they put out another
I don't
Skyward
see that.
Sword?
I can't
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I can't see it happening.
I know
everybody
you
was
didn't like.
everybody was
My-
goo-goo over Skyward Sword until it came
I
out.
know.
My
I know
worry
you
for
didn't
Zelda,
like it, but
like the open world, it looks cool and cartoony and neat, but like, are you at least not a little bit afraid that there's not enough going on
no.
to like keep you interested?
There's been countless amounts of gameplay that has come out with that. Like, I'm to the point now where I'm not worried about it in the slightest.
Like just with like combat or in cooking or what?
No, I'm not worried about it. Like I said, we've literally gotten 10 hours plus of gameplay from different sections of the game at this point because it's been shown off so much that I'm not worried about it at all.
I'm with you. I think it's going to be good. I don't have any worry about that, but I'm just trying to
Yeah,
worry up because I think he brings up good arguments.
No, he doesn't.
no.
I think he does. I think these are questions that really need to be asked about
Do you-
Nintendo at this point because it's a little ridiculous.
And I'm not arguing with you that these questions shouldn't be asked. I just don't think everybody's buying a Switch for the Nintendo games.
Right, and what all we're saying is that enough still?
I think.
Like,
I think.
for us, yes, because like that's who we
We've
are.
all
like,
pre-ordered.
I
it.
right.
How do you know, Corey? We didn't get there yet.
Sorry.
I
Quit
wanted
jumping
to
the
wait
gun.
to reveal that.
God damn it, Corey.
Sorry.
Fucking covers.
Hey, I wasn't the first person to say it.
Yes, you were.
No, Will was.
Oh. Never mind. No, he said Corey pre-ordered it.
That's right. I threw myself under the bus.
Right.
Regardless.
Oh, okay. So
Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
some other. That's okay. Some other confirmed titles. Snipper Clippers.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat 8 Deluxe. Or Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Arms. Disgaea 5 Complete. Puyo Puyo Tetris. Rhyme. Splatoon 2. Skyrim. Mario Odyssey. Xenoblade. I am Setsuna. Steep. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and Minecraft. There was a few others on there that I didn't feel needed to be written down. But those are the big confirmed ones so far. There's also a game called Fire Emblem Warriors, which I don't know much about. I don't know if that's
Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem.
is that what it is?
yeah.
Love it. There's also been a Shin Megami Tensei title announced. That's at least Japan only for now, but I can imagine that'll come west too. Not any details on that other than that brief teaser we saw for it. So that's the software. I think the last thing we need to cover is the online services, right?
Are there
Yep.
any? Sorry. Are there any
Fine.
original games being developed for this console that aren't from Nintendo?
I don't know.
I'm just looking at the list here. I don't. And what about Western developers? Are there any?
I don't know.
I don't see any.
Didn't look into that.
Anyway,
I
sorry.
don't see any either, Corey.
Go ahead.
I actually heard someone say that they think that the Nintendo Switch is largely designed for Asian markets because of the mobile takeover.
Oh, we should.
Console sales are really lagging in the Asian markets, and that the Nintendo Switch was developed specifically for that.
I could see that. And while we're on the subject, the Switch will not be region locked, so you could play any game on your Switch.
You can buy games from Japan and have them work.
Better yet, nice. China, because you can get them for $5.
Maybe. With cartridges, I don't. If it was a CD, I would say fine, but
Fair
cartridges are a little different. So let's talk about the online. One bomb they dropped without really explaining much of it was the paid online, which for me is the most egregious thing that Nintendo did the entire time. It's the worst pill for me to swallow. It's going to be free apparently through summer, or is it fall of 2017? And then it will.
I thought it was through holiday season.
It could be holiday. It could, and I might even be the end of the year. But at that point, they will have a paid service, and like you're going to be able to test out all the features of it before they launch the actual paid thing. Does anyone have a list of like what those features are? I was so pissed I couldn't even look it up.
Did they put one out?
So subscribers get online gameplay, online lobby and voice chat through the app,
through a phone app, by the way.
Okay,
mobile phone app.
You have to have the app apparently.
Oh yeah, you do.
A monthly game download, which is then taken away from you at the end of the month.
That's so stupid.
So it's not like PS Plus or Games with Gold, which you keep in your library.
Nope.
You get a classic NES or SNES game, which is then ripped out of your hands.
Ripped out of your bloody...
If it's good enough for you to even care, because there's a lot of bad NES games they could give you.
Sure. Go ahead, Corey.
Exclusive deals is listed as a feature.
Which, if we know Nintendo, that's like $5 off.
If that.
You're being generous.
Yeah.
$2.95.
Yep. And then everybody, subscribers and non-subscribers, have access to the Nintendo eShop, the ability to register and manage friends, the ability to share screenshots to social media, and the ability to access Nintendo Switch parental controls. Why is that even listed here? I don't know.
So are you telling me that if I don't pay online, I can't manage my friends and shit?
No, that's for everybody.
Okay.
And it does say free trial through fall of 2017.
Okay.
So maybe up until the holiday season, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's my thought.
Pricing too. It's $5 a month, right?
I don't think they announced it.
I didn't hear
that
it
somewhere. But go ahead, Eric.
I use the word egregious, Dan, and I don't think I agree with that because, I mean, that's just kind of how it is now. You pay for online gaming, but it sucks because it's the second you heard that like your friends list and voice chat and everything is running through a mobile app, and it's not like built into the console,
which makes it even worse that you have to pay for it. Right?
Yeah, you have to pay for it. It's going to be shit. You're not even going to be able to keep the classic fucking games that they're offering.
What are
you paying for?
Well, yeah. Well, one of the biggest reasons why I don't have a console anymore is paying for online. Like, I don't play online that much to make it worth it for me to pay even $50 for a year of paying for online service for the, 5 or 6 hours I might play. There's specific games, and Nintendo games, as I talked about, are games that I would play online.
I was just going to say, how much Mario Kart Online did you play?
I played a lot, right. But I will not pay for this online service. I will not pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know, like
joke of a service.
Well, Nintendo's classically had the worst online service, and for me to have to pay for the worst online service, the best free service, which would probably be Steam, online service, which would be Steam, is free.
It is also the best. Period.
Right.
I heard there's no Netflix. Like, what are we doing?
And I understand the argument that once people start paying, we'll be able to improve these online
No.
features.
No, they should have
But-
it set
Fuck
up
that.
first.
But my whole thing is, for what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody's going home and getting online on their like, hey, you guys hanging out on Switch tonight? Nobody's doing that.
Nobody. That's why those stupid fucking ads where people are on rooftops in New York City playing Switch at a party are just such nonsense. Nobody believes that that's going to take place.
Right. And
Nobody believes that.
The type of games that people would hang out online for a night with their buddies aren't on the Nintendo.
Well, I'll give it this. Like, if I'm going to, if I were to theoretically A, go to a party, B, take any sort of video game with me, it would probably be Mario Kart, Smash Brothers. Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Or Rocket League. That's it.
I'm talking specifically for the online stuff, the online features. Like,
Okay.
Nobody's hanging out on Switch at night. I'm gonna hang out where Rocket League, where Call of Duty, where any of my sports games are, unless I want to play FIFA from 6 years ago. Then I might log in on the Switch. And also, my second thought, Eric, about what you were saying is that screen is pretty small.
It is. Yeah, you can really do split screen at best, and that's it.
I mean, it's approximately the size of the Wii U gamepad screen, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit bigger, the screen,
By like
because I think that's a
tenth of an inch or 2/10.
I think that's a 5-inch screen,
Oh, okay, so maybe
5.5.
But still, that's a pretty small screen.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Like 4-player Mario Kart on there would be brutal.
It's honestly not much bigger than my phone screen. My phone's a 5.5 or 5.7-inch screen.
And you got
It's that
you got
small?
you got to huddle with everybody. if
It's
you're
tiny.
playing.
I saw it next to a 3DS. It's not that big.
Wow. I do have a new goal during the life of the Switch. I'm gonna have a rooftop party where everybody's playing Switch.
Yeah.
Prove you guys
I mean,
wrong.
here's the thing. I'll be there. But
I'll bring my Switch.
yeah. Well, we can connect up to 8 switches.
That's a good question. Does anybody have the answer to that? Can you connect locally
8 of them.
Yeah, 8 of them.
through Wi-Fi?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a plus.
Yeah. Hey.
There's one in the good column. Cha-ching.
It'd be cool to
I
play.
think that's everything, right? Did we cover everything? Is there any more details I missed, Corey?
Oh, there was one thing I wanted to talk about. Shit.
There's a few things. The stock took a dive. After
Yeah.
This.
Anything Nintendo does anymore, their stock takes a dive.
Yeah.
Damn it, I can't remember. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. It's not going to come back to me.
We didn't really talk specifically about the like arms costing $60.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we should
That's
touch
what
on
it
that.
was. And how do you not package 1-2 Switch in with it?
Oh, to
Like,
keep the
keep
cost
costs
under
low.
$300.
Give me a fucking break. It doesn't cost $300 for this console. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It costs $300 for the bare ass minimum of this console that most people are going to have to upgrade parts and memory.
I don't know. I think the console's about $300 worth of tech.
Yeah, no, but like after you add like say your
Oh,
family,
I see what you're
your
saying.
Joy-Con,
It's not going to cost $300, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. Your memory
okay.
cards, all that kind of shit involved.
Sure.
I know they're optional, but at the same time, like if you're marketing it as like this on-the-go party platform, then maybe you do need more fucking Joy-Cons with HD rumble.
I'll take out a loan to get a second Joy-Con thing. I won't even get the grip. I'll just get the Joy-Con.
The grip looks kind of cool, actually.
It does, but I can't afford that.
I have a question for you guys then.
Go ahead.
So as somebody who didn't watch this and kind of sort of got everything that's with it, if I'm buying day one to play Zelda, is the only thing I need to do is pre-order it and buy Zelda?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So I don't
I
need to
think you're
buy
good.
anything random that
No. That's
is
all you need.
extra. Okay. That's all I care about then.
Yeah, ARMS is $60. I didn't see $60 worth of game. Now I watched a lot of the Treehouse the next day, which they go into depth about the games and the controls and all that stuff, and it seemed interesting to me. Not $60 worth. That's like maybe a $20-$30 game. I would say, that I would pay for, because I think that would be fun to play with my kids. If I ever were able to come across a second Joy-Con later on.
At a yard
the
sale.
cost of it.
You know what's interesting about it though?
Probably around August time.
I would probably try and steal one.
Yeah.
First, go ahead, Corey.
I read today that motion controls are not required to play ARMS, and I was like, oh, maybe it is worth $60. Isn't it weird how my brain just like that's how my brain thought?
Yeah.
Like, oh, motion controls aren't required. It must be a
I
better
don't know
game.
if I'd want to play that game without motion controls.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the point of it?
I wouldn't want to play against someone that wasn't using the motion controls, because if I'm going to get tired, I want them to get tired too. God damn it, that's not fair. And then 1-2 switch, even worse, I think. The 1-2 switch, the mini games, the Wii Sports, or what's the other Wii mini game?
Wii Sports Resort, is that what it was?
No, we had for the Wii, we had a Wii Play. That's what it was. Wii Play. It was just a bunch of mini games. That was I don't know. That was I think we bought that separate, but it was like $20. 1-2 switch is $50.
Oh, I thought it was 40.
No, it's $50.
Oh my god, raking us over the coals here.
I can't imagine that's going to sell too well.
No,
Who's gonna honestly buy it?
I'm not buying that.
There will be a couple people that buy it just to test out maybe the this is the system, what have you, but
Yeah.
that's not going to be a seller, I don't think.
Oh, it's 40 because of Amazon Prime. That's why.
Oh, gotcha. Anything else, Corey? Do we cover everything?
I think so. We don't know if the Virtual Console games transfer. Probably not.
Probably not. Or they'll transfer for a small fee.
Sweet, I can buy Mario 3 for the 17th time.
And
Small
get excited when it's coming
I would like
to the
to,
Virtual Console.
if we can though, take a moment and maybe talk about some of the positives. Do you guys have any?
Yeah.
I think we've talked about some of the positives that we had.
All right.
I like the hardware. I like the portability of it. I'm going to use that a lot.
Yep.
I like being able to take Mario games and sit in my living room and not control the TV.
Okay.
A Mario, Zelda, what have you. That's why I'm buying the system.
Yeah.
Is for that reason.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool design. I think that everything looks really interesting, and like Dan said, or like I was talking about earlier, just having the tablet sitting there on the table and playing Mario Kart kick back on the couch. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. And still having the TV for you, like Dan said, like they can still sit there and kind of be part of whatever's going on in my living room, but still have access to whatever game.
But Eric, you could have done that with the Wii U.
No, the Wii U, that's not the same. The Wii U gamepad had to be within like 10 feet of the console, and that's if it had a good connection
It was
between.
more than 10 feet.
No,
It wasn't
not in
too
my
far,
house.
though.
It wasn't.
No, in my bed for my living room, it was pretty spotty.
Yeah.
I can lay in my bed and play Wii U, and that's like 20 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
You must not have a lot of interference, because I can't get. I bet you it's 8 to 10 feet I can get away from my Wii U before the thing starts to not respond.
Yeah.
But you're right, Corey, because my living room is where it would be located anyway.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
No, I agree though. Like the
But
portability.
it's the Joy-Con thing, how they come off, and
Yeah.
being able to sit back and like hand my wife one and we can play Mario Kart there on the tablet. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on the portability especially, and I think that's why everybody was excited about the Switch. You remember how excited everybody was before this reveal event?
Yeah.
For it, I think that's probably the biggest reason, right?
Sure.
That's what what they sold it on in that initial reveal.
Yeah.
Um,
One of the
also-
things Go ahead, Corey.
I was just gonna say the other thing I think is pretty cool is that it's 2-player right out of the box, which is rare.
Yeah.
For a console, I think that's a big deal. But
Yeah.
this is the generation they decided not to include something you could do 2-player with. So
A game. Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of 2-player Breath of the Wild playing.
no.
I won't be playing a 2-player game. I'll probably get the Mario Kart Deluxe because I'm kind of a sucker. But
I'll probably get that too, Dan.
I love Mario Kart too much to not buy
Mario
that.
Kart 8 was awesome.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. One thing I wanted to talk about, Corey, I think maybe possibly could be the wild card here. We talked about, I know during the rumor phase when we talked about this, a lot of people commented, and developers and stuff commented on how easy it is to port their existing PS4 and Xbox One games to the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I heard it was really easy to
and
develop for.
Think if that's the case, like if it takes one person like a few days worth of work to completely port, a multi-platform game to the Switch, I think you're going to see developers just start throwing games up on there because there's little to no risk.
I guess my question is then why are we getting last generation FIFA games?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, because I did read that the hardware was placed somewhere between a Wii U and a PS4 in terms of quality, I guess, or horsepower, I should say.
Sure.
And Dan, I think you're right, but also nobody's going to get assigned that job if nobody owns a Nintendo Switch. So first they have to sell the thing.
No, I know they have to sell. They'll sell a few. Like I said, they'll sell a few systems at launch and throughout the year. But like I said, if there's like no risk involved, why wouldn't you and potentially sell another 20, 30, 40,000 copies of whatever game it is?
I'm with you.
I think something important too that we didn't even mention is that the biggest reason to get a Nintendo Switch at launch is also available on a Wii U.
Yeah. That's true.
The only reason to get a Nintendo Switch at launch.
At launch, yeah.
So I'm struggling a little bit with that conundrum.
I don't blame you.
Do I just get
I will
Breath of the Wild?
The graphic comparisons that I've seen, it looks much better on the Switch.
It does.
So if that matters to you at all,
it doesn't.
Then I would just get it for the Wii U. Get a Switch later. Get a Switch when Mario comes out. That's my biggest thing from the press conference was how awesome the new Mario looks. Super Mario Odyssey. I think that game looks amazing.
Yeah. I like the fully 3D again.
Oh,
that's going to be nice.
Running around the city and like the different environments that he was in. Oh, it looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the breath of life that game needed.
Yeah. Is to go back to being fully 3D like Mario 64 or Sunshine was that fully 3D?
Yeah.
Because the one for Wii U, what's that one? Not the side scroller, but
3D World.
3D World. That wasn't fully 3D where you could like rotate the camera and stuff. It was kind of 3D, but it was like isometric almost,
Yeah, it was weird.
A little bit different.
And like Corey was saying, they brought Todd Howard out with Skyrim. Like, who's paying $60 to play Skyrim on a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah. Like I said, there's going to be a few games that I already own on my computer, probably that I would like to see made mobile, just so I can play them all the time. Skyrim's probably not one of them, though.
And that to me, that's just like the Omen that I keep bringing up. It's like seeing okay, it's cool that you can play Skyrim on the Switch. Like, fine, that's cool, but that should just be in a montage. Bringing him out on stage to announce that says to me, that's the best they could do.
I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a little worrying. They brought out Skyrim and last gen FIFA. Yikes.
Guys, it's the game of the generation.
They brought.
I know, but we can play it anywhere else.
That was last
under
generation.
$60. Well, under $60.
It was game of last generation.
Yeah, why are they so focused on last gen?
That's a good question.
Just a couple things to clean up. They said there will be no shortage at launch, like the NES Classic.
Pretty damn sure about that.
So, yeah, if nobody's buying it, of course there won't be. I don't know. Every article... So, I use this app called News Fusion, and users of the app can rate articles like good, great, disappointing, crap. And most of the time, there's like 1 or 2 votes on articles. Like, not a lot of people use it. But every Switch article had double-digit crap ratings, regardless of what the news was.
Wow.
So I think reaction to overall is pretty negative. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, from what I've seen. I mean, I have seen, a fair amount of people that are positive about it too. But yeah, I would say 60-40 at best.
Who do you think are the people that are negative on it? Do you think it's people that were going to buy it anyway?
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't know. I don't know who that demographic is.
Well, I guess I'm speaking mostly from like games media people that I follow on like Twitter, who I was, refreshing the whole time watching it just to see what they were saying. Because a lot of it was really funny. Jim Sterling had a lot of good one-liners, as did
Jim Sterling's hilarious.
Boogie had a lot of good ones. And a lot of them. But that being said, like just as I'm fairly negative on it, a lot of them also said they pre-ordered one.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I don't know.
They bought it to play Nintendo games. That's exactly why they bought it.
I had somebody come into work today who's not a big gamer. He enjoys playing video games once in a while. I don't think he has a PS4 or Xbox One, and he came in and he goes, "Hey man, I think I'm thinking about getting that new Nintendo." And I was like, "Oh really? How come?" And he goes, "Well, I just don't have the time to like sink into these competitive games like Call of Duty and stuff like that." He goes, "I just want to sit down and have fun."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be your console, I guess.
I mean, at the end of the year, probably.
There's also a lot of games you can sit down and have fun with on the other.
There are, but I guess I could see where he's coming from, thinking like this is kind of a casual gamer's console,
right?
At this point,
the ecosystem is much more casual.
Yeah, with a big open game like Breath of the Wild, it doesn't feel as intimidating to me as like a Witcher does.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Okay, Corey.
That's it for me.
Anyone have any other thoughts they wanted?
So why did we all pre-order one?
Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I just feel like I'd be left out if.
Well, that's the thing.
Everybody played Nintendo games, the new Nintendo games.
I like new video game consoles, and it's launching with a really big game, and that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, between Zelda and the portability of the console, that's what sold me on it. So
let me ask you this:
I will go ahead.
No, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If they released Zelda when they said they were going to, for the Wii U,
like summer.
Oh,
like last year
for
the Wii U.
Yeah. Are you guys still buying Switch day one?
I probably wouldn't. I probably would have waited.
The
only other game I'm really looking forward to this year is Mario.
I wouldn't have gotten. I don't think I would have gotten Breath of the Wild for the Wii U.
You would have waited for the Switch?
I think so. I don't know for sure, but I think I would have.
I can sit here and say that I would wait, but I don't think I'd be able to. And I can also sit here and say I don't think I would buy a Switch if I got it for the Wii U, but I probably still would because I'm an idiot.
I'll tell you why I wouldn't have bought it. It's because I had twins in September. I wouldn't have had the time to put into it even if I wanted to.
Sure.
And I've had very little time to play games, unfortunately. But
yeah, just another curious question. Nintendo held out on release. Maybe that's part of the reason they held out. Probably.
I think too they had to launch with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way around that. Looking at the other games that are definite launch lineup games, no, I don't. I wouldn't have pre-ordered it with those other games because I wouldn't have wanted to spend money on those other games.
So do you see Breath of the Wild as a Wii U game that was up-resed or up whatever for the Switch, or vice versa? A Switch game that they down-resed for.
I know they've been working on the Switch for a while. I don't know how long they've been working on Zelda. It doesn't matter. I don't care one way or the other.
Okay.
So, yeah, I pre-ordered one. I actually pre-ordered two. I saw it was like after the Switch event, I had to do the podcast, so I was up really late. But it was also happened to be the night when the pre-orders started online for the Switch system. So probably I kept refreshing Twitter to see because people would put pre-orders are up on GameSpot or Walmart or whatever. So I kept refreshing Twitter to see, and probably about 3:00 in the morning, GameSpot GameStop. I'm sorry. GameStop had pre-order, so I pre-ordered one from there. I paid for really fast shipping and stuff too, so I'd get it on day one, and it ended up being like 300 and what was it? 350 something, 355 for fast shipping and tax and all that stuff. So I was like, damn it. So I was screwing around for a little bit longer. The podcast finished, so I could upload it. And like 10 minutes later, I saw it was pre-orders up on Amazon. So I was like, sweet, I got it on my phone. I pre-ordered one on my phone, and then I went on my wife's computer and pre-ordered one on her computer. Because she has Amazon Prime. I don't have Amazon Prime because there's no reason to have it, and for both of us. But Amazon ended up canceling one of my pre-orders. Luckily, it was the one on my account and not the one on my wife's account.
Did you update your order details? Because I read that people that updated their order details were getting their
I didn't.
Canceled. Gotcha.
No, I didn't. But I think that's their way of stopping scalpers, because there was already a bunch of scalping people on eBay.
What are they going for on eBay? Maybe I'll...
I didn't look.
Oh.
Yeah, I stayed up too. I had to work the next morning, but so I don't know. It was like 1 o'clock probably. Best Buy started doing pre-orders. So I pre-ordered there, and then Dan, when you told us during like midday the next day,
that
Amazon had some.
I was gonna save one for Will, and they like a few minutes later they canceled my pre-order.
Right.
So I was like, Will, they're up. Pre-order one. So
I pre-ordered another one on Amazon in case Corey didn't get one, and he wanted one. But then when he said he did pre-order one, I canceled my Best Buy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I pre-ordered at like 1 p.m. the next day.
Yeah, they had another round where they had open pre-orders.
Gotcha. I must have gotten.
Like I said, it was about midday the next day. I don't think there's any available now. I think last few times I've checked, there haven't been any.
Yeah, it's unavailable right now. I just checked.
Okay. So that's that. Bittersweet.
Oh, it was a terrible press conference.
It was a terrible press conference. I agree. Ugh. Hope I don't have to watch one of those again. They're having a Fire Emblem Nintendo Direct sometime this week, I think.
To show us a mobile game?
I hope not. I hope it's for the Switch one.
I would assume it'd be for the Switch and the mobile game, because I don't think they do it direct for just like one game.
I'm sure they do. If it's a big game.
Yeah.
Because they did one for Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Pokemans.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right, well, let's move on, shall we? Does anyone have any nibble bits?
All mine were Switch related.
I figured we covered all the news in this.
Yeah. It's also been a really short week, too, but go ahead, Corey.
I was going to tweet one that the Super Mario Run coin event was going on. And then I read the article, and I was like, it's just more coins than normal? Yep, that's all it is. 1.5 coins if you play Super Mario Run.
Okay, so no nibble bits, no nibbly bits. Weeks. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about for their week? It's been a short week. It's only been like 4 days since we last podcasted. So
I watched
3 days.
I was wondering how Corey's dog was doing.
Oh, she's good. She's back to normal. Her stitches are still in, so we still have to watch her. She's still not really letting us sleep much, but she's in good shape overall.
Good.
She puked today for some unknown reason.
That's what dogs do.
They just throw up.
She just puked.
My dog did that the other day. We were both getting ready to leave for work. He just yaks.
Yep. Doggies.
Dogs are dumb.
Will, did you have anything you want to talk about?
I had a birthday, but other than that, didn't do much.
Hey!
What'd you do on your birthday? We never
Happy
heard.
Birthday!
Oh, I just hung out with my friends. We went out to get food and stuff.
Did you go Wendy's?
No, we went to Tully's.
Ooh, chicken tenders.
I got a Caesar salad. Chicken Caesar salad.
On your birthday?
I'm cutting weight.
You can still eat on your birthday and puke it up.
Cut your weight on your birthday.
My cheat meal is going to be Sunday. It's going to be enchiladas and cake and stuff. So.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
I fell below 160 pounds, so like this is my final push for my weight loss, and then from there I can eat again.
Beef up again.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm fatigued. I'm tired.
Yeah.
But that I didn't do a whole lot. Just been playing games.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to talk about?
I wanted
to
to
watch a movie.
I wanted to talk about a movie I watched yesterday.
Okay.
I watched a movie as well, actually.
Go ahead, Will.
I was gonna say I watched Kingsglaive because of Corey.
Oh yeah, the Final Fantasy movie.
Yeah, all I'll say about it, because it's been out for a while, is no, it's not a great movie, but for what it sets out to do, I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Fun to watch anyway.
Yeah, it's super cool, and like for people who have no idea what's going on in the story, that'll kind of help you out a lot.
It does explain some stuff.
It's pretty important with what goes on in the beginning of the game, but it's super cool. I really enjoyed it. It was just a fun action movie, just to lay down and watch at night before bed.
Would you be interested in a Kingsglaive DLC?
Probably, yeah. Honestly, any DLC for that game, I'm pretty interested in.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it, what we played, because I played a lot of it, and I just want to gush about it for a little bit. But you can go ahead now, Corey.
Okay, so I watched a movie called Krisha. Anybody familiar with Krisha?
No.
Okay, so it came out last year. It's an indie movie, and it's about this woman who is returning home on Thanksgiving to her estranged family, which she had some sort of falling out with. You're not really sure on the specifics until the movie plays on. But it's a really good movie. Really weird, like mess with your head. Eric, I think you'd really like it. And it's also one of those movies, and I really like this, that like it just sort of plays out. It's not like, it doesn't seem like anybody's acting. You know, there's crazy moments, but there's no like major heavy drama. You know, it's drama, but it feels very real. Like there's a character, one of the characters in the film, you can tell he has something very important to say, and he keeps his mouth shut through most of the movie because he wants to keep the peace. And then at one point he says it, but like almost nobody hears him, but you could tell it was really difficult for him to say it. Whereas like in a traditional movie, there'd be like a cut to him, and like the music would go, and then he'd say this thing, and you know the camera would be on him. But in this, it's just like off to the side, and nobody really hears him. And
that's kind of how life goes, though. Like
exactly,
that seems more realistic than a movie.
Yeah. Yep. Really, really good, and so bizarre. It's really well acted. I highly recommend it. Eric, if you want to watch it, it's on my my Plex server. So,
is it on any of the platforms like Netflix or anything?
It might be on Netflix now. I don't know. I haven't looked. But I definitely recommend it. It's probably one of my favorite movies from last year. So
I think I'm still connected to your Plex on my Xbox.
Yeah, Krisha is not on Netflix.
All right.
Krisha.
Nice.
Yeah, but highly recommended. Also, I don't know if you guys want to talk any football, but I watch football all weekend.
Yeah, talk football.
Go ahead.
I don't have anything specific to say. I think I'm going to root for the Falcons.
Me too.
I always root for the Packers and the Steelers because I like their fan bases. They're a passionate bunch like the Bills fans, so I always root for them.
We should at least talk about the end of the Packers-Cowboys game, because holy crap.
As Giants fans, I feel like you have to.
Well, yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, partly to rub it in, but
well, yeah.
Partly because I like anytime you watch Aaron Rodgers, he just does amazing things. I don't know. I just don't know.
Think of the number of teams that passed him up.
Yeah,
crazy.
Because what was he? What round was he?
24th. I think it was the first round,
over.
But like 24th pick.
Okay, I'm sure the Browns passed on him.
I know the Bills did.
Bills did. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, I mean I thought they were gonna just have to, go into overtime, but that throw downfield, the catch, the 2 field goals, because I freaking hate icing the kicker. It's just so anticlimactic. Drives me nuts.
May I let's see. This might be kind of interesting. Let's see who was taken ahead of him.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
number 1 overall pick was Alex Smith. He's okay. He's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's done all right. Ronnie Brown. Braylon Edwards, Cedric Benson,
nothing.
Cadillac Williams,
wow.
Adam Pac-Man Jones, Troy Williamson, Antrell Roll, Carlos Rogers, Mike Williams, DeMarcus Ware, Sean Merriman, Jamal Brown, Thomas Davis, Derek Johnson, who's actually really good, Travis Johnson, David Pollock, Erasmus James, Alex Barron, Marcus Spears, Matt Jones, Mark Clayton, and Fabian Washington.
Huh.
Wow.
So a lot of those guys aren't even in the league anymore.
Yeah.
The Bills didn't pass him up. They didn't have a first-round pick. Thank God.
Oh, okay. There you go. Dang.
How about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, it'll be fun to watch. Falcons are going to be tough to beat, I think. But then again, I've written off Green Bay for a while now, and I just don't think you can.
You can't write a team off that has a quarterback like that.
Yeah. I'm rooting for whoever comes out of the NFC, pretty much.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously rooting for the Steelers in the AFC. I would have been regardless of who they were playing, but
Right.
because it's the Patriots, I will certainly be rooting for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Do you know who else could use Aaron Rodgers?
That's pretty much every team.
The Houston Texans.
Man, I don't know. I do know how they made the playoffs because their division's terrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's the worst division.
Brock Osweiler's got to be one of the worst starting quarterbacks to ever play in the playoffs.
There's a podcast that Corey and I both listen to. They rip Brock Osweiler every
terrible.
week. It's so
terrible.
funny.
Good defense, though. The Texans have.
They're the only reason that it was close for a good part of the game, other than the Patriots playing kind of bad.
If the Texans had even an average quarterback, they'd be all right. Like it'd be like Trent Dilfer when the Ravens won.
Yeah, just winning on your defense alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they have Brock Osweiler.
Slinging it back there.
But boy, that Cowboys-Packers game was something.
Yeah,
That was
fun.
a good one. Yeah.
I mean, I only caught the last 2 minutes of it in the break room at work. But that was all I really needed to see. That was incredible.
Yep.
I liked your comment, Eric, when you said, as badly as I want to see the Bills in the playoffs, if that happened to me, I would drive off a cliff.
Well,
That's a crushing loss.
because I called my mom on the way home from work because she watches football, and I wanted to see if she'd watch the game. And, of course, she's like, oh, did you watch the game? And I was like, yeah. I go, man, I'd love to see the Bills in the playoffs, but if that happened to the Bills, Mom, I don't know if I'd still be around.
Yeah.
I really think I'd be devastated.
Tough pill to swallow, that one.
Thank God I was that young when they lost the Super Bowls. Wow. I see why that city's so run down. Dallas is hot on its heels now.
Was it 3 or 4 straight Super Bowls?
4.
Oh my God.
You know, though, the thing about it is they only lost one close one. The other ones were blowouts.
Yeah.
It was just the first one, which is worse, I think.
The close one against was against the
I'd much
Giants.
Yeah.
And then 2 was it 2 or 3 against the Cowboys?
2, and the other one was the Redskins.
Redskins.
It was all NFC East.
Oh wow.
They
Yeah.
did a tour of the NFC East and got their tails kicked.
Minus the Eagles.
Yeah.
They'll never win a Super Bowl.
But yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
that was an incredible game.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else anyone wants to talk about for their weeks?
I started watching a series of unfortunate events on Netflix last night with the wife. It's really cool. I never watched or read any of that stuff before, but I kept seeing people on the kind of funny forums talking about how cool it was. So checked it out, and we both enjoyed it. So we're gonna keep watching it. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's got the dude from How I Met Your Mother.
The
The three names. 3-name guy.
Doogie Howser.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil
Is that his
Patrick
name?
Harris.
Yeah.
Him. Yeah, he plays Count Olaf, who's just like this prick.
Nice.
It's cool.
Okay. Corey, did you ever see the movie?
Yeah.
I feel like you and Chris talked about the movie all the time.
I don't know that I would talk about it. I didn't really care for it all that much.
Okay.
I heard it was pretty bad.
I think
Yeah,
Chris really liked it though.
Okay.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Okay. Anything
Oh,
else?
There was one other thing. I listened to an audiobook.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. I have to look up the author. No, I don't. I know his name. So it's by this guy. So my wife and I, anytime we go on a road trip, we always get something on Audible to listen to. And we had 2 credits saved up. And we got Tom Sawyer, read by Nick Offerman.
Oh, nice.
I haven't started that one yet, but we listened to a book called Hillbilly Elegy by a guy named J.D. Vance. And I knew nothing about it, but it was recommended on there, so I read the description. It's this guy basically telling his story about growing up in like this real hillbilly backwoods town, and just like the mindset of people that live there, and how he was able to somehow like escape that. And he ends up now he's a lawyer, and he's like super successful guy, but it was really, really good. It's just like it was so interesting to hear like where he came from and what was normal to him growing up.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Was there any shades of Newark Valley where we grew up in that, or is it even worse than that?
It was worse than that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
it was
where
in
was
Kentucky.
it? Okay, Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. He lived in Ohio for parts of his life too, I think, but Kentucky is where his roots were.
Okay.
But I really, really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Very cool book.
Yeah, because I mean, we can't swear off that. We grew up kind of in that sort of environment. Not that bad, like you said, but kind of a backwoods hillbilly type of area.
Right, and it just like makes you think about like how do you break that chain?
Yeah,
you know, like
that's something.
How was he like able to overcome all of that stuff when like nobody else he grew up with was able to get out of that environment? You know,
that's kind of if you listen to any of Adam Carolla's stuff, that's kind of his thing too, because he grew up in like really, really bad poverty. Right. And it's the same thing. Like a lot of his friends were, you know, in and out of jail and trouble, and how he was able to, you know, break himself out of all that. It's interesting.
He talks about like all the violence that he grew up around, whether it be like his mom and the relationship she was in, or like his grandma just protecting him, or just getting in fights because it was the right thing to do in the way he was brought up.
Sure.
Just as like a respect thing, kind of, or a moral obligation to like get in a fight with somebody about something. It was really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what was the name again, just for people?
Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
It was really good. So I'll be listening to Tom Sawyer next. I'm really looking forward to it. I've never read or listened to that book, but all you had to tell me was Nick Offerman was reading it, and I said, "Yeah, I'm in." He actually just released his own book again. It's all about woodwork.
Oh, beautiful.
So if you're into woodwork at all, it says right in it, like if you're into woodwork, you're gonna love this book.
Nice.
So,
Corey, along those lines, I like when like celebrities kind of narrate books like that. Corey, I don't know if you heard, but the actor that plays Peter Baelish did Sun Tzu's The Art of War on Audible, cool. Which I think would be amazing to listen to, because I guess he kind of reads it as the Littlefinger character.
Ooh, I like his
which
voice.
I think is amazing.
Yeah.
So I want to buy that at some point. Okay. Anything else anyone has to talk about for their weeks?
Nah. That's it for me.
Well, do we want to roll just what we played?
Sure.
Roll right into it. Okay. Corey, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mentioned I got back into Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, which I believe was originally a Vita release back in 2014.
What's a Vita?
You know, that PlayStation thing?
Weird.
Or maybe it was
actually just found mine
3.
the other day.
I
just found mine the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It was under my bed.
I took it on vacation with me.
Did you use it?
No. God, no.
You were playing
Star Wars.
Wars.
I got into Star Wars.
Yep. Nice. So how is that game, Corey?
It's
That's
good.
what I've been interested in.
Yeah, I played it. You keep hearing about it as one of those like must-play recent JRPGs, one of the best.
Yep.
You know, you keep hearing it mentioned in those lists and stuff. And I had played it probably about a year ago, but I didn't get that far. I guess the game is known for its length, and it is kind of an old school Japanese role-playing game. And when I played the last time, I probably played like 6 hours and didn't even get through the prologue. And I got to the point playing this weekend. I had time because I was with the dog and the girlfriend was working. So I just wanted something I could sink my teeth into. I probably played about 8 hours and just got through the prologue.
Wow.
So if that's any indication of the length and breadth of the game, I've got my work cut out for me. And it does start slow, but I guess it's also notorious for that. So I was reading around online, and I guess the rule of thumb for Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky is to play until the play, and then if you don't like it, you can stop. I guess there's a actual play within the game, so
Kind of like Final Fantasy VI.
exactly, yeah. But I guess it's only in like chapter 1 or 2, so you don't have to play that. I don't have to play that much more to get to that point. I'm not crazy about it. It's good. If that's what you're looking for, is a story-heavy JRPG. That's what you want. But it does a lot of interesting things with combat and stuff like that. It is turn-based, but you're also on a grid and moving around that way, and you have different powers and abilities, and they just spend a lot of time letting characters marinate, you know? You're not constantly moving from plot point to plot point. They're spending a lot of time developing characters and giving characters moments and ancillary characters moments and stuff like that. So things haven't really gone down yet. My 2 characters that I'm playing as were just accepted as bracers, which is like I guess like the Blades, you know, a guild within this game universe that protects people and investigates crimes and stuff like that. They were just accepted as junior bracers, so stuff's starting to happen in the bigger picture, but we're not really too sure what's going on yet, so I really don't have much to say as far as that goes. But I like it. It's scratching that itch, and as you mentioned earlier, now's the right time to play a game.
Play
you've
that
been
sort of
meaning
thing.
to, yeah. So we'll see how long it lasts. I know we talked about probably doing 4 in February. At least I'm probably going to do 4 in February, so
I am definitely doing 4 in February.
yeah.
I need to.
So I don't know how much more I'll play, but it is, I mean, as build, meaty, story-heavy RPG, JRPG.
Nice. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Will, you want to talk about what you played?
Oh boy, do I ever. So I played a plethora of stuff. What do you guys want to hear about first? Anything?
Final
Inside.
Fantasy 15.
15. Okay, so Final Fantasy 15. I ended up beating it
Hey, well done.
about a week and a half ago.
I got to start the list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
2017.
better keep it up, Dan. Just for a little hint.
Are those fighting words?
I got a couple.
Wait, who won last year?
I
Dan.
think I did.
I don't remember ever discussing it.
I can call it up.
I believe you.
We didn't, but I'm pretty sure Dan won it.
Pretty
But
sure.
anyway, Final Fantasy 15. I want to say 56 some hours into the game, and I loved every minute of it. That game did, in my opinion, so much right. And like I talked about it, I think the last episode I was on, when like you did the Leviathan fight, like that was such a great moment in the game.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to make boss fights super hard to make them
Fun.
interesting
Yeah.
and fun. You do that, like craziness where you just don't know what's going on, but you're really powerful and whatever you're doing is working. Like it was such a great fight, and like the story in the game, I actually really like the story. I know some people have complained about it, but like I read some outside stuff as I was playing it to kind of get the full story of sort of what was going on when I was kind of confused on something. And I'll say Arden is one of the best villains in the Final Fantasy series, in my opinion.
Hey,
Pretty good.
Yeah, super good.
spoilers.
What, you're not that far?
No.
I mean, it's known that he's the villain, right?
I didn't know that.
It's part of the Empire, Eric.
Well, shut up about it
How far did you get?
before I go to the disc.
Okay.
Don't you know he's
Corey,
the villain by then?
Yeah, I think
so.
you do.
I mean, you have maybe an inkling, but I don't
Corey,
know how these
is it a
games work.
spoiler to say that Arden is the villain?
I'm not going to be the judge of that. I guess for some people.
I just told you it was spoiled for me.
Are you gonna go back and play?
I'd like to.
Gotcha. I hope you do.
We'll see. If it was more like Rocket League, I'd be very tempted.
Stupid Rocket League.
Best game ever.
But no, I love Final Fantasy 15. There were some really emotional thoughts in that I had about the game towards the end, like with Arden and some of the story. Like I want to be able to talk about it because
but the character moments are really nice too. Like
you guys
with
should do a spoiler cast.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah. Maybe once Dan plays through and beats it.
But yeah, no, with Prompto, like kind of with his character, like he's the fun-loving guy, but like once you kind of learn a little bit about him, you're kind of like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And all the characters kind of have that.
Uh-huh.
Like with Ignis in the second half of the game, you're just kind of like, it just gets so depressing.
Yeah, but in a good way. It's like, yeah, you know what? These are the bros.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, there's the one moment where I was just like, yeah, they're my bros. They've got my back.
Exactly. That's what bros do.
It's like with the thing with the crystal, and you're in that shack, and like all of the guys attack, and they're like, go, like just do it, and you kind of like have to take off. Corey, I don't know if that's as vague as I can make it.
Yeah,
without,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like that. I was like, they've got my back after everything that went through. But I love the game. I have no regret making it my game of the year. It probably, if I had beaten it, it would have stayed my game of the year for the Thummies. So I'm really glad I ended up picking the right game because it's going to go down as one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. I mean, it won't top.
It really only improves towards the end, except for that one chapter where you're walking through hallways for too long. But
2 hours.
Other than that, I think the game just improves the more you play.
Yeah, no, it really does. And like it takes that weird like linear switch into the middle of the second half of the game, but I think they do it well enough that it doesn't matter because there is that option where you can go back into the open world, but like you have to do it in a weird way. So like it's not presented to you, so you don't really know that you can do that, really, in my opinion. So, but I think what they do with the second half of the game is fine anyway.
And also, I heard so somebody like glitched through one of the retaining walls in that last continent and found like a whole bunch of stuff. So they might have been one of those things where they intended that area, that last continent, to be a whole other thing. You know, another area to do open world stuff in. Yeah. As it stands, you just kind of go and do the linear thing and then leave.
Yeah, well, because I was playing through the game and I had like 40 some hours and I hadn't even gotten to the second continent, and I was like, oh my god, is there a whole other continent worth of stuff to do? Like, I'm never gonna finish this game, but like in a good way. And I was like, this is amazing. But you know, that ended up being like the linear part of the game, which was fine. But
are you gonna go back and play the open world stuff?
Yeah, I'm actually going to try and get all the achievements for the game, or the trophies. Because they're really not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is difficult because you need to be level 99, but the rest of them are fairly easy.
You know how to get mad experience, don't you?
I know there's a way, and I'm not 100% sure on how to do it. I just know, like, if you hit, like, 500,000 experience and you sleep in the one hotel and triple it, like, that'll get you, like, there.
You don't even really need to do that. You just need to craft the spell, craft one of the spells, and use the item that gives you experience, and eat food that also gives you experience. So then you get that multiplied on itself, and then you can just sleep at any of them, and you can get a ton of experience pretty easily.
Oh, okay.
Because you know how you can include items in your spells to change the effects?
Yeah,
There's one that really boosts experience a lot.
Am I looking at like a day of grinding for that?
To get to 99?
Yeah.
I don't even know if it'd take you that long doing that.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to have to grind out a lot to get like Noctis's fishing to max. Like that'll take me forever. Yeah. Because I literally have fished like maybe 3 or 4 times in the entire game. So. But no, I love Final Fantasy 15. So happy that I played it. I wish I had it beat for the thummies, but whatever. It still wouldn't have changed my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't end up making a difference.
It just made me feel a little dirty picking it.
Yeah. Hey, we're all about we can't necessarily factor in endgame stuff into our decisions, you know.
That's true. That is true.
So, do we want to hear the 2016 beaten games list?
Yes.
Corey had 6 games beaten. Will had 10. I had 12. Eric had 5.
Boy, that's
Really?
weak.
And I think, yeah. I think that's everything. There may have been a game or two that we missed, but I think that's everything.
That is weak compared to 2015.
Oh yeah,
well, we were in the
I think
30s.
I was in the upper 30s. I think.
Yeah. I had like 32, I think. That's how many.
Rebounds here.
Like I said during the thummies, I beat more games, almost as many games in 2015 as I played in 2016.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Will.
So moving on, I have now played Titanfall 2, and I have played and beat it.
Hey, well done.
Yeah. So I only did the campaign, didn't really do the multiplayer because I knew I would get hosed online if I even tried to play it.
Mhm.
I liked the campaign a lot. I think what people praise it for is the platforming and the kind of like how the combat is in the game, because like the wall running and stuff like that, like all of the game like plays really well, and I think along with like the platforming in the game is what people really liked about it, and the story mission that everybody talks about like is pretty cool, but the story doesn't really do anything that's too groundbreaking in my opinion. I think it was just a solid campaign in general. I don't think it was as incredible as everybody made it out to seem.
Okay.
That's probably a hot take.
I figured that was probably the case.
As someone who's into sci-fi, would I find something interesting about the sci-fi in that?
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Okay.
Because there's like a relationship between your character and the Titan that they work on throughout the game. It's really short. Like there's only like 10 missions. So like if you're into that, like that's cool. Like the time warping back and forth in that one mission's like pretty cool. But other than that, like it's a campaign to a shooter. I feel like one person or a couple people online just really, really liked it, and they wrote about it a ton. That made me seem like everybody loved it a lot.
Gersman wouldn't stop talking about it on Giant Bomb.
Yeah, like that's the type of person who like his opinion carries a lot of weight with everybody. So
I'll play it when it comes on to Origin Access. I'll play through the campaign.
Well, Dan, when I get into my next game, I'll let you know what you can do whenever you have time.
Okay.
And I didn't do any of the multiplayer really, so like I can't really judge that. And I know a lot of people really actually genuinely love the multiplayer to that game, so
yeah,
I just probably won't play it because I've got a couple other multiplayer games that I want to play if I'm going to play a shooter. So the next game I played and beat was I Am Setsuna.
Hey.
I'm curious about that one. Huh?
So the more I played of this game, the more I really ended up liking it. The game, like, once you get all the characters and kind of like mess around with the spirit knights and stuff like that, and like with the equipment and all that, like you can have some pretty awesome combos with your characters and stuff like that. And that's what I really liked about it, because like the characters were all like this is a solid JRPG. I wouldn't say it's great. I think it's just like it's like a 7.5, 8 in my opinion. Does nothing groundbreaking, but what it does well. And that's to be basically kind of like modern day Chrono Trigger. And I really like that. I really liked being able to swap through my characters and stuff like that, and just do the battles. I think the battling system was all really well done with the momentum and stuff like that, with trying to get your gauges up to try and do double attacks and do combos with teammates and stuff. And all that was done really, really well, and I think that's where the game shines. And the story, once again, is average. It's kind of cool. There were some moments where I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool moment, but overall, I just really enjoyed I Am Setsuna a ton. I like I said, I wish there was another game that I played last year and went through, but I kind of slipped through the cracks. But did anybody like outspeed it or get far?
I think I'm like halfway through it.
Do you remember
Okay,
the last
yes.
thing you did, Dan?
No, it's been a while since I played it. I'll go back to it at some point,
Yeah.
hopefully.
On the Switch, Dan.
If I can figure out a way to transfer my save file, yes, I will play it on the Switch.
I played a little bit of it, Will.
I knew all of you played a little bit of it. I just couldn't remember how much everybody played of it.
Yeah,
Did you
I couldn't see it keeping my attention. I thought it was pretty average. I hated the way it looked too.
I actually really enjoyed that. But I also anything with snow, I would just kind of
It glosses over anything.
yeah, it could be the new like Red Dead Redemption could be in a snowy environment, and I'd probably like it to some
You-
extent.
Really need to unlock the snow portion of Forza Horizon 3, by the way.
Well, I'm gonna be getting there.
So good.
That Battlefield and Dishonored are the next like section of games I'm gonna work on.
Nice.
There's that. I played Inside and beat it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well done.
Now, I really like Inside a lot. I would like watching somebody play it more than me playing it alone.
Well, I think this one probably fell under we probably built it up too much for you to truly appreciate it, maybe.
I really appreciated what the game did, and I liked everything about it. It's just I don't enjoy puzzle games a whole ton, and it's not overly puzzly, but like it's just enough that when I got hung up on a section, like I just did not want to waste time on it. So
Should
like
definitely play The Witness.
I could see, again, this being Will being the one that likes Inside the least out of all of us.
Oh, for sure.
It makes sense. I think it's not
Yep.
really his type of game. Not
Yep.
not knocking on you, Will. But
Well, maybe a little bit, Will.
no,
I am dumb.
if if I was to pick one of us that would like Inside the least, it would be Will.
Right.
And like I'm pretty big into the indie game stuff and all that, but like I said, I would have enjoyed like playing it with any of you guys and kind of like going along with you.
Did you play Limbo?
No.
Okay.
So yeah, I did like it. I like what the game was kind of getting at with like mind control and stuff like that. And it got real weird on that last like chapter.
Huh?
When you're the blob or whatever. That was actually pretty enjoyable now that I think about it, because you're just this fat thing fluttering around, running around, scaring people. Like that was pretty cool.
The meat blob.
Yeah, the meat blob.
I liked all the sounds that it produced.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
The
And some of the
pitter-patter
dust-
of sloppy feet.
Yeah. And it's spilling like through tiny little sections.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the deaths were pretty cool too with that game, I thought. Like
Oh,
when you
God,
get
yeah.
caught in the spotlight and that thing reaches and stabs you and pulls you up. Like that was always really cool. But I think there was like a glitch or something. I got no achievements for the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. I
Oh, that's
put
weird that Xbox Live would be janky.
believe it or not. I don't know if you were supposed to get achievements as you beat the sections of the game. Like I don't know, but
I'm pretty
assumed.
sure.
Okay, so
Yeah, I think I got achievements for it.
I got
Steam.
screwed then.
Yeah, you did.
There's no proof that I played it now.
You know what, Dan? I don't even think we counted on the list. No
You're right, I'm-
achievements.
I'm
There's
gonna
no
erase
paper
it.
trail.
I'm gonna
Ye-
erase it.
You can actually look on my thing and see that I put in 3 hours and like 15 minutes of gameplay on it.
Yeah, but if you were looking around a lot, how are we even supposed to know?
You know what you did? You turned it on. You left
Sat
it
there.
on, and just sat and went and did something else, and then
What's
watched
that?
Corey play through it on YouTube.
You know what? That gives me a good idea for when I run out of time this year for our beaten games and I need to catch up, like I did 2 years ago.
You just watch the ending.
Yeah, so you guys can't prove that I didn't play it.
Not that we would ever take that kind of initiative to do so.
No,
Or care enough of the
Just
if I
take
actually
the word.
did.
we'll just take your word for it.
And finally, I started The Division. I have not beaten it, though. The Division is really hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're just starting it.
Yeah, I started a new character.
Okay.
I wanted to. I couldn't. Not that it really mattered, but I couldn't remember what I did or anything with my character and whatnot. So I was like, I'll just do a new character. It's only like a 15-hour game or whatever. But I'm going to be playing that way longer than 15 hours because it is so hard. I die.
Help?
Oh, I do need help a lot.
What are you playing it on?
PC.
Thanks for the text.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know if you guys want to play the Division.
As if Corey's
Like,
wanted to talk.
Maybe this isn't working.
Corey, all right, you're no better than him.
Corey, would you actually play?
Ah.
Exactly. That's why I didn't text any of you to play, because I didn't think any of you would.
I probably would have.
I might have.
If I was available, I probably would have.
When you were playing, when I saw you get on Steam and play, I would have played with you.
It depends on what kind of mood I was in
at that point.
Well, it's hard to nail you down, Dan, because you've got children and all of that. So I didn't want to bother you. I thought Corey would have scoffed at me if I asked him.
Why? I like the Division.
Yeah, but you've been like the Division that was boo 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 or whatever. You know how you get.
Enough space you don't have enough space on your hard drive.
What are you talking
on your
about?
Switch.
And to be honest, Eric probably would have played. I should start asking him more.
I mean, the last 3 weeks I've texted you guys anytime I have a fucking free night. Rarely do I get boo back, except Dan. Dan usually will at least say I can't.
To be honest, every time you've said that, hey,
I've
I
been
have
at work
free time
every
to
time
play
you said
game.
that.
Yeah, I've been busy
Oh, I wouldn't know.
because we don't answer.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm not supposed to have my cell phone at work. That's why I don't answer.
I'm sure that you follow that rule very closely.
So yeah, like that's what I've been playing. I'm gonna do Battlefield 1, Dishonored 2, Forza Horizon, and more Overwatch and Stardew Valley in the next like 2 to 3 weeks. So before school starts back
Hold
up.
off on the Stardew Valley till there's multiplayer, and we'll do that together.
Well, I'm gonna play multiplayer a ton too. I just kind of want, I want to play more of it.
You
like
gotta start fresh with the multiplayer with a new farm.
I'll have another new farm. I don't care how many new farms I have.
That's one I'll be playing on the Switch if it comes out.
And I think I saw it was.
I think I did too.
Oh, but that reminds me, Dan.
Yo.
So I played all of the games that I wanted to on my PlayStation that I need to catch up on. So whenever you want it, you can borrow it. I can drop it off to you literally whenever, and I don't care how long you have it.
Tonight.
Because
I'll let you know.
Okay. Because I'm trying to, I'm taking 21 credits this semester, so like I'm not going to have a ton of time for games again. So I'm going to try and pawn off my PlayStation. So you can have it for as long as you want.
All right. Well, I just want to play Final Fantasy.
And I want you to play Final Fantasy.
It will depend on if I'm going to end up buying Tales of Berseria or Resident Evil 7.
Mm-hmm.
You should buy Tales of Berseria.
I downloaded the demo. I'm going to try the demo and see how it runs first and then how it plays. And maybe I'll buy that one. I'd rather buy that one. Yeah.
Dan, did you beat Bloodborne?
No, I only played like 6 or 8 hours of Bloodborne.
Okay.
What?
I'm checking Tales of Berseria because it looked interesting to me. I kind of want to play it.
It's another Tales game.
Is that everything? Will?
Yeah, for the most part. I don't know.
Okay.
I've put in a lot of work because I've been so bored.
Man, jealous. Eric.
Yeah, I have a lot of time because of work too. Because I get done at 12:30. So
nice. All right. What do you got, Eric?
I didn't play anything new, Dan. I played some FIFA, some Rocket League, and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That's it.
Yeah, I'm still playing a ton of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Do my dailies every day.
Yep.
Me
too. I unlocked. Hold on. Let me see. What did I unlock today? I unlocked Galactic War.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on getting Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm like 18 tokens away.
Nice.
So I'm getting there. And then Mace Windu is probably my next one because I'm fairly close to getting him.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a question about that game. Why are there like multiple people named Mole whatever?
Mo Eliza?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what it suggested my name be, so I said okay.
Yeah, I've run into a few people that have the same name as me too.
Okay. I was just curious if that was like the name they recommended or not, but
Yeah, I just took a standard name too.
okay.
I also unlocked the Imperial TIE Fighter today.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. You'll do ships. I think do ships start at 60, level 60?
60.
Yeah.
Got a ways to go.
What level are you, Eric?
40. I hit 40 today. Ding 40.
Wootgrats.
Yeah.
I just hit 67 while we were talking.
I saw that. I was playing too.
Oh no!
I had to
listen
finish
me.
my dailies.
Go figure.
No, I was listening.
I was
I didn't
definitely listening.
I didn't need to do anything. I was just passively.
I was
on my
just
phone.
fucking around.
Okay. I will go next. I beat Soma.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you.
What do you
Are
think,
you scared
Dan?
shitless?
No, I wasn't scared shitless. I freaking love the ending.
Yeah, real good,
I
right?
thought it was so good. It was so good. And I, of course, after the game was over, I needed to read up on the endings just to see, like, and I don't know if you knew this, Corey, but there's multiple endings.
Okay. I don't
That
remember
are
if I knew that.
They're kind of they're a dice roll. Some people think.
Oh. We'll have to talk about our endings.
Yeah, well, you know what happens at the end. Should we talk about it?
Let's
It's
just
a known
talk
game
about
at
it.
this point.
It's good with me.
Will and Eric aren't going to play it, right?
Yep.
I'm not even listening, so
We should
Okay.
also preface whatever we talk about by saying everybody should play Soma.
It's almost it's really good.
And
Really
stop
good.
listening right now if you're going to.
Yeah.
There's some annoying parts in it,
Sure.
which we talked about. Having to run and hide from the bad guys or lead them on a wild goose chase while you do something was a little bit annoying, but like Corey talked about, I kind of get why they did it. That built suspense and those are the times I was really scared playing it. But the ending, yeah. I don't know. Should we preface the ending? Probably not. For those that have played it, there's no need to preface the ending with the build up to the ending, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my ending was, Simon Jarrett and Catherine Kat Chun, being left behind.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a dice roll whether you get left behind or your ending is the one where they end up in the arc. It's just random.
That's messed up.
Why is it messed up? I thought that's awesome.
No, that is awesome. That's my point.
Because Kat Chun talked the entire time about, when they made the clone for him, and it was a dice roll whether, the player stayed as that guy or was the one stuck in the Simon Jarrett 2.0.
Yeah.
And yeah, like when you go into that thing and clone yourself into the arc, it's a dice roll whether you end up in the arc or whether you end up stuck on Earth underwater.
That's interesting because when I was reading about it, everybody seemed to have gotten the same ending as me.
Yeah.
Maybe I mean I don't know how they did it, but maybe it's the type
It
of
might
thing
have
where
to do with what you did in the game.
Yeah. Did you also get the epilogue though, where you're like?
Yeah. That's where you're in the arc.
Right.
That was some people's ending.
Gotcha. I think I would have liked the game less if I got that as an ending.
No, I definitely, because I really like the hopelessness of the ending that you get.
Yeah, and it
was
really
great.
makes you think, like,
Oh, sure.
like what is consciousness, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it was great. I loved it.
And like all along, all the times he's uploading his conscious, he succeeded in the coin flip. You know, he could have just ceased to exist in any one of those.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Yeah, really good.
So I beat Soma, which I'm also glad because I've been talking about that for weeks, and it's time to move on. I also continued my playthrough of Mass Effect. I don't know why. I just was like, I want to play Mass Effect. I was thinking of Andromeda, so I was like, I would like to try and play through the trilogy again before Andromeda comes out. I don't know if that's going to ultimately happen, but pretty far along in Mass Effect. I just finished the whole Novaria stuff. I just have Pharos to do of the first 3 like main missions, and then I'm looking forward to moving on to 2 only because the gameplay improvements in 2 are so significant.
Yeah.
The first one definitely feels pretty dated at this point.
Well, Dan, you got 4 in
still...
February coming up. You could beat the first one by February and put Mass Effect 2 is your number.
No, I want to do that for games I've never played before.
Mm.
That's kind of the purpose, is backlog.
Gotcha.
I mean, you
Or
could
he's stupid.
You can put whatever you want on it, but I want to use that for games I haven't played.
Are we going to do an episode out of that?
I guess it depends on.
Because I know we did in prior years, setting up for 4 in February, we did an episode where we all came with a bunch of games we considered and then talked through which ones we would do.
Yeah, we each picked one for each other, and then the fans, I believe, picked one for each of us.
Yeah.
The listeners.
Yeah.
As it were.
We don't have fans, just listeners.
How dare you, Corey?
If we're gonna do it, that's how I'd prefer to do it. I thought that was fun.
Fine with that.
What if you're not participating?
I'd like. Well, then you can still pick. I'd still like you to pick a game for me.
Okay.
Well, you can still bring games, Will. You can participate to any extent. We're not going to write you up if you fail.
You might get a few lashings on your backside, but that's it. You like that sort of thing, though.
I love me some lashing, so you're right. I'll bring some games.
You can make it a bunch of 2-hour games if you want.
That's probably what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm going to have some shorter stuff.
Pick out my shortest games.
Maybe one longer one.
Have you done Stanley Parable yet, Eric?
No.
There you go.
I have
one.
multiple times.
I'm not interested in that.
The Beginner's Guide.
Gone Home.
It's like an hour.
I got to get reconnected with Will and Corey on Steam.
Oh, God.
I know. It's miserable, isn't it?
That's such a pain in the balls.
It is a pain in the balls. I actually got disconnected from everyone.
Oh, I still have all you guys. What are you guys doing?
Fuck,
yeah,
nothing.
I still have everyone.
That's the thing. I haven't fucking done a thing. All I do is play Rocket League. That's it on Steam. Ridiculous. That's all I do.
Don't yell at me.
I have a question.
Yo.
What color Joy-Cons did you guys pre-order?
I just got the gray one.
Yeah.
Who got the multicolored? Will?
I don't think I had any.
I have to pre-order Joy-Cons?
No. It comes with, but you could get the neon or the gray.
On Amazon, it gives you that option?
I think it did.
You guys are liars.
I got the gray.
I didn't have an option.
I didn't want the fucking blue and red.
I probably would have just gotten the gray too. I don't think I would have gotten.
I like the look. It's just a clean look.
Yeah.
I think I got gray.
Anyone play anything else?
No.
Do we have any feedback?
No.
No,
Dan. It's a short week. We'll chalk it up to short week and pretend that's what it was.
That is what it was. Yeah, I think that's everything, right? Do we decide what we want to do for next week? Do we want to do the 4 in February thing next week?
Is it too early? No,
because even if
time for it.
Because like I said, Resident Evil is a potential episode. Is anyone else getting Resident Evil?
No.
Nope.
No one's getting it. Okay.
I don't even have an interest, so.
I kind of do. I was gonna wait for reviews on it before but I'd rather play Tales of Berseria.
Too scary.
So.
We'll see. Gravity Rush 2, Eric, are you gonna get that?
Oh fuck! I want to. I can't commit to it.
Okay, so that would be the only other thing I could think of that we could do next week, but.
Okay, so we'll plan on.
When is that out?
20th.
This Friday. Ooh. I might be able to talk myself into that. It's the day after payday.
Nice.
This reminds me, Eric, before we hang up the Skype call tonight, we got to discuss what we're going halvesies on this year. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's early in the year for that, Will.
Well, we got a big month of February coming.
Do we?
Yeah, we got For Honor. We already got Halo Wars. We got Horizon.
Does anybody get Neo?
Maybe Neo.
What's Neo?
You should get Neo on PC, Will.
I have the only way I'm getting that game is if I want to split it with Eric, actually.
All right, let's talk about that after.
All right.
What's Neo?
Is that one I talked about? It's Dark Souls with samurais.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember now. All right. So potentially next week we'll be doing our foreign February selection.
I think we commit to that right here.
Okay, that's fine. I like that idea too.
Right.
I would like for you guys to pick my games too. That's always a fun thing. So
the only night I can record next week though is Thursday.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
All right. So we'll play on Thursday for now. Foreign February selection. It's a little early. Well, no, actually, by the time, because it's only Monday, so it'll be the end of the month at that point. It's like
26.
10 days. Yeah, 10 days from now. So, yeah, that'll do it for episode 287 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Whoa.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement. Dunsky.